Welcome in, three-man Bunkbed 2.2.
What's up?
We are officially 2 weeks out from the draft. We're going to do our second Underdog draft. We're going to post it on time, allegedly.
Maybe we'll see.
So, Nolan, I would be remiss if I didn't start this off by going, what's up, brother?
What's up, brother? It's
Yeah.
Did we ever even actually get our other one posted?
Nah, potentially, but Tyler will take care of that.
This is 2-2, but might be 2-1.
That's right. It's okay. All right. So look, we're excited to get into it today. We've got an Underdog draft. We're going to start it pretty early on so we can jump into this.
And actually on time, so we'll finish this time.
That's right. Before we get into that, again, this is Three-Man Bunkbed. My name is Zach Bradley, at the Zach Bradley on the socials. My co-host here is Nolan. You could find him on some pretty scarce socials.
It's gonna be Fat
Squirtle.
Good luck finding me.
If you go to the Fantasy Football Advice Network and you find a weird-looking Fat Squirtle,
it's the one.
This
That's
guy.
That's where you'll find me active.
That guy right there. Okay.
Yep.
We're a fantasy football podcast. We are on the Fantasy Football Advice Network. You can find us on YouTube. Every once in a while, you can find us on Spotify if it's a good enough audio file.
If the fancy strikes us.
That's right. And today's podcast, as part of a series we're doing, is, of course, sponsored by the Fantasy Football Advice Network, partnership with Underdog Fantasy. So, as we go through this, and you decide that you want to get an Underdog account and you want to start doing fantasy football drafts, among the many other things they do, please remember that we will match. It is FF Advice is the code. So FF Advice when you jump on, and we'll get you on there. So let's see. All right. Let's jump into this draft, Nolan. We're gonna leave that code up there just for a minute while we get loaded in. So, boom.
Hooray.
All right, we're gonna do a little board too, right? So the trick here is, we're gonna be hosting some cool Underdog drafts through the Fantasy Football Advice Network. But until we get to those, the trick to getting into drafts with your friends is counting down to 3 and jumping in. So,
ready, set, go. All right, on your mark.
Set.
Get set, go.
Let's see. Waiting for 3 people.
3 to go.
Oh, yeah.
We're
gonna
do it. Go team.
All right. Let me get rid of this runner.
Yeah.
Let's see. All right, Nolan. So last week's draft. Let me see.
I picked CD at the 1-1. I think. Yeah.
I'm still okay with it. I still don't think that's like.
It's fine. He ended receiver number 1. I know CMC made it through all of last year healthy, but you still have your big wonders about it. I think this will be the first draft I'm doing not in the first 3 spots this year.
Ooh, 1-2 for me. 1-2 for Zachary. Okay. That's fine. We're fine with that. Okay. The 1-2 is interesting. It's a long gap between your next picks, so you got to nail the first one, but it's okay. Let me see.
I'm at the 10.
We did a $10 big board last week. Oh,
we did. We did the little one this week. Can't go big every time.
Well, that's fair. Let me see. I must have went. I had a later pick last one, and I went Bijan. I can see it already. I'm fine with that too.
Yeah.
All right. So let's see. So
he should.
Let me tell you real quick.
Running back. So.
Yeah, and he's going to be in the offense with Kirk Cousins, without Arthur Smith muddying the process up.
Yeah.
That's
the biggest. I feel like the biggest thing is getting a competent quarterback and then getting rid of one of the worst OCs you can have, or RIP Steelers.
Right. So I'm pretty good pre-draft with no other free agency changing. I'm pretty good 1-2 going McCaffrey or CD. Like those feel like pretty safe picks.
Yep.
Nothing really changed on their teams to diminish their value. They didn't hit the 30 mark and tick over into that dangerous time. So we're good there, so long as Trafka makes his pick. He's going to auto-draft. Come on, Trafka.
At the 1-1 auto-drafting. You love to see it. So my big thing about the 1-1, I still kind of lean a lot towards Tyreek there. Up until he got hurt last year, he was on the way to 2,000 yards and maybe being the first non-QB MVP in a while. So I don't know.
True.
If he stays healthy, that could have been the pick of the year. So nothing wrong with still going Tyreek that high.
Nolan, you know what I noticed in this draft we didn't talk about last week?
What's
We've
that?
got some shields.
Finally, no shields last time. Weirdly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the shields are pretty cool. It's an earned badge in Underdog, so you can't buy the shields.
Yep.
This is I guess technically they're bought. Okay,
I mean,
but you have to buy into X amount of drafts, and then I think on the red one you have to win X amount of drafts to even qualify to have the shield as a part of your icon. So pretty cool to see some of those in here. We're gonna have probably some pretty good picks on this draft.
Yeah.
All right, Nolan, look at you at the 110 back here. What are we thinking?
I just feel like it's high for JJ right there. I don't know. Yes, he's still one of the best receivers in the league. I feel a disturbance, I'm just.
Well, look, until they trade up to get a quarterback, the reality is they're picking at 11.
That's right.
And so they might
They've
not get one.
also got a tier
guys.
1 running back or a tier 1 tight end, and then Addison, who looked good his first year when he was on the field.
Yeah.
So
yeah, look, they've got the pieces. Oh, here we go.
Change it up a little. I don't know if I.
Ooh, Aaron Rodgers and Garrett Wilson.
It'll be my first time drafting him. You got to change it up. Big thing about Underdog, you need some variance. If everybody's doing the exact same drafts every time, you're just sharing winnings. So you want to, if you can, get a kind of unique draft. So change it up.
Yep, and next week, Nolan, we might pre-draft. We might go over exposure and how that looks like on Underdog. That's a pretty cool thing Underdog does for you to let you know some stats in your drafting style. So
yeah,
we'll get into that some next week.
A couple more drafts under our belt. That I'm gonna do. This is probably. I think I've gotten him in every Underdog draft I've done so far. I'm so high on Drake London this year.
You have to be. I think that's a great pick. I think.
1-2, year 2, guys. Ugh. I don't know. Do we think Aaron Rodgers is actually going to be worth a damn though?
Yeah. Look, until he doesn't play well, you gotta give him benefit of the doubt. It's Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
He's had offensive head coaches pretty much his whole career. So that'll be interesting because he's got Robert Saleh, so that's not it. But we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, he's 40 now, so
bless his heart.
I don't know, man. I'm just so iffy about it. Did they ever get a backup, or is it still just Zach Wilson?
It's just Zach.
Damn.
Bless his heart. I think they're just they put so much draft capital in Zach Wilson. They're invested in making sure that they know without a shadow of a doubt if he's going to work. And look, Jordan Love proves sitting behind Aaron Rodgers can help,
yep.
Right? We saw him in small gasps prior to last year's explosion, and he looked terrible. But in his first feature action, dude was dynamite, absolutely dynamite.
What did he end up? QB5 last year in fantasy, I think.
Mm-hmm. So, Nolan, tell me this. I saw this on a couple of drafts we've done so far. Ayuk, these three guys here, I'm so interested to see them talk like as high as they are. Ayuk above Debo at the top, even though he's having contract issues. Nico, even though they traded for Diggs, they still have Tank Dell. They re-signed Schultz. And then Stephon Diggs there, even though he's competing with Nico. That's going to be a big change. Those guys are going to start to see some separation as we go through this draft season.
You got to, right? It's eventually somebody's going to just become the consensus favorite and start to move up. But as of right now, it's just such a coin flip. You have no way of knowing. I was watching a couple of these streamed earlier, and some people were saying about taking both of them on one team just for variance sake, and then you get one of them. I just feel like you're losing out on another high pick.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. Yeah, I feel like if you back up to the 112 and the 2-1, I think that's above a luxury pick. That it feels like a fail. Although I'll take a shot at Stephon Diggs.
I mean, if you look at it last year, though, if you had Tyreek and Waddle on the same team up until the injury, you were gold.
Yeah.
So.
Or Mostert and A-Chain on the same offense.
Yep.
You can play both of them, That Dolphins offense is insane. Mike McDaniel, he'll have a job forever.
Well, he's mid-30s, right? He's still just so young.
And he wins a lot. This dude, look, we're really early days on it still. He could be the best best offense head coach ever if he can just get a Super Bowl.
Maybe. It feels like the kind of offense that eventually a defense is going to figure it out, though, you know?
They hadn't yet, man.
It might just also be, like, player-based, too. Like, you've got Tyree, Waddle, and then you've got, 4-2, low 4-3 running backs?
Speed. There's speed everywhere.
It's the fastest team in the league, and I don't think
Except
it's
for Smythe.
necessarily very close. Hey, Smythe is a fine tight end. I wouldn't say he's a
But
good
you were going
tight
to say
end, but he is
fast. I was going to say.
No, he is a passable tight end.
Let me see. I just got to know. While we're talking about Durham Smythe, combine results. Let's go look.
God.
Let's go look. Durham Smythe in an offense where everyone else is fast. Let's see if he even ran his 40. Let's see. Look, it's so obscure to find his stuff. It's taking a long time to load here. Okay. He's big, dude. 6'5", 253.
Damn.
He projected as a prospect grade as a 6.1, which is good backup with potential to develop into starter. So he's right in line with that. Yikes! Our boy ran a 4.8.
Oof.
And only 18 bench press reps. Yeah, I'm not sure about that, Durham.
Well, I went with Cooper Kupp for my wide receiver 3.
So we think Cooper's having a revenge tour this year?
Man,
If healthy, right? Like
it's going to be a
it's
lot
just
of
health
people.
thing.
Yeah, he's getting older. It's a health thing. Also, there's going to be a lot more eyes on Puka this year. After the year he put up last year, defenses are going to have to focus on him a little more. So I
Same
feel
thing
like
with Kyron.
it could leave some openings for Kupp to cement himself as a, good to great wide receiver.
Yeah, I think so. So, I mean, look at that offense, right? So we live in a year where Cooper Kupp was a first-round pick last year, top 6 or 7 in some cases, and this year Kyron and Puka are both going above him, depending on the draft, right? And so all of a sudden he's the third most important player on the offense, and I just don't think that's how it's going to finish in the year. I'm telling you, I don't think Cooper Kupp finishes behind Kyron and Puka.
Puka
fantasy
at the
points wise.
1.9 and Kyron at the 1.12.
Yes, yeah. Isn't that crazy, Nolan? Like this year, Cooper Kupp's third behind 2 guys who were basic. One was a rookie last year, and one kind of had a redshirt season. And
one
was
might
like
as well
a year.
have been a rookie, yeah.
Yeah. So 2, colloquially speaking, 2 rookies. And Cooper Kupp, has led the league in receiving, and people are like, he's behind those guys.
Yep.
I don't know. I think that's a great pick.
Still got Matt Stafford too, who's still an above-average quarterback. Rashid Rice, I really expected him to fall further than this. Especially, he's facing 8 counts today, officially.
And that's not an auto draft. Read On took him. That was he picked him. 2, 1. That's a good pick.
We got it.
You also had your last 2 kind of elite running quarterbacks right there as well.
Yeah.
Yep, there goes Jalen.
I feel like I look away from quarterback a lot, especially I got Garrett Wilson and Cooper Kupp. I can get those quarterbacks to get those stacks so much later.
That's fair.
So I just went with one of the elite running backs left. It was between him, ETN, and White. Really, are the running backs left that I would be super comfortable with as an RB1. So I just, I don't know. It was a gut pick. Gut pick James White over, or James Cook over Rashad White.
See, I'm kind of going the other way. So I've got 3 receivers so far. I took CD, Olave, and Stephon Diggs. So I'm feeling really strong at wide receiver. And then this tier of running back, I'm very happy with. Rashad White was top 5 guy.
Yep.
Pacheco, if they could just continue to get some options in this offense to take the pressure off.
They got to get some receivers on that team, man.
Look, they got a future superstar in this rugby player they signed. Okay. And then you got Joe Mixon on the Houston offense. Joe Mixon's like the 4th most important player. Like he's, primed to go in there and play.
I'm surprised he's so low.
And then you still have Alvin Kamara and Aaron Jones here. Like tons of guys. I would have rather had Rashad White, but I am going to take a shot. I'm going to take let's see. It's a little far down to just take a running back. So let me look at – I'm probably going to go Pickens here. And then I'll take one of those running backs on the swing. Let's see. So elite at receiver right now. CD, Chris Olave, Stephon Diggs, and George Pickens.
Yeah,
but because
insane.
I've taken those guys, I'll be able to eat at tight end, quarterback, running back later. You know.
So we talked about this a little bit earlier. How bad does Arthur Smith hurt the Pittsburgh offense?
Look, he made Ryan Tannehill look good in Tennessee. Like people were like, guys, Ryan Tannehill's just fine in this offense, which was not the case. It was just an Arthur Smith thing and Derrick Henry. All right, real quick, I am going to take a quarterback here. There's a couple elite options, and I've got Stephon, so I'm going to take C.J. Stroud here, and then we'll come back to it. Yeah, I could have taken Lamar, C.J. or Patrick. Yeah. Yeah, great group of quarterbacks there in the 5th round. You'd be able to get Lamar, CJ, or Patrick Mahomes. Very happy with that.
It's weird how low Mahomes is in the ADPs right now.
He's throwing the old Travis Kelce and no one.
I guess, but I don't know. They've got to take, especially with all the mocks. I think 90% of the mocks we've looked at, it's got them taking Xavier Worthy.
I guarantee I just took my screen name 1218. I took who he wanted. He's got Nico Collins sitting there. So I know he wanted Stroud.
Man.
It's all right, pal. You can get him on the next one.
So Mahomes this late. Jordan Love's ADP is 83. He was QB5 last year.
Isn't that wild?
His team is just getting older. They had the youngest weapons in the entire league, and it's another year under their belt. So I don't know. It feels real low for him to be there in the ADP. I guess that's the thing with Underdog ADPs as of right now. They're going to change a lot in the next few months.
Yeah, it's skewed. Some of these drafts we're going to look back on in September or October and go how does that possible that those picks happen?
I may just say
A-Rich is there, but it's hard to skip Patrick Mahomes to go to A-Rich.
I was thinking, so my thought was take Jaden Reed and then take Love. Which would be a fine little baby stack.
Mahomes is sitting there.
He's just sitting there. It's hard to not. I don't know.
It's best ball, man. You can turn around and get 2 really elite options at quarterback and know that you're square. All right,
honestly,
this guy's kind of doing
a base for this lineup. I feel like is so solid right now. I got to get some variance now, though.
Straight up, I don't have a running back yet. I'm only taking some shots. I got 4 receivers and a quarterback.
I'm going to be honest. I think I might take Pitts here if he sits to get the Atlanta stack. And then if we were talking, if that offense does what we think it's going to do, especially with as much as Cousins threw to Hawk. Hawk ate when Cousins was on the field.
Yeah, absolutely. This guy, Trevor Piaz, that was his first receiver taken. So he took Kyron Williams, Jahmyr Gibbs, and Derrick Henry. Then he took Travis Kelce, Dalton Kincaid, and then took Terry. Terry McLaurin was his 6th pick. His first receiver was his 6th pick.
So we were talking about variance. It kind of makes sense. You're getting the guys that are going to get the consistent points, and then if you're just preying on receiver, getting your hitting on the high upside every week, because it is best ball. You don't have to set your lineup. So if you get the guys that every 3 weeks have a 30-point game, I mean, it's not a bad strategy when it comes to this kind of thing. I think I'm going to do it. I hate it, but I'm going to do it.
Look at his tagline. Finally gets quarterback upgrade. It's just sitting there. Yep. We will know after this season if Kyle Pitts is actually good or not. We'll know. Short of him getting hurt, we'll find out.
I'm scared the answer is no.
Look at these guys eating up on these running backs now.
Yeah, there's a run
Kenneth
on
Walker, Alvin Kamara. Look, there's a guy coming up right before me with 0 RBs. You think he's taking a running back?
Who's left? No,
there's
I
still
wouldn't.
Some guys.
There's still some guys. Because you can get in the next 2 rounds Mostert, Swift, Jalen Warren. I think he's going to end up having a better year than Najee this year.
Yeah.
Because he kind of showed it last year, and now with a running back focused coach or OC, I don't know. I have high hopes for him this year.
Brian Thomas Jr. going above Calvin Ridley.
It's crazy, right?
The rookie stuff is wild because we don't know where that guy's going to get drafted for 2 weeks.
It's the biggest coin flip you can have. I think of that set of receivers right there. Honestly, I may just go with Addison, though.
You know who I'm going with. Now, I'm not going to pick him in this draft. I've got 4 receivers. I would go with Deontay Johnson. 1,000,000%.
Yeah, well, you love Deontay Johnson.
That's just my guy, man.
He is like one of your top 3 favorite players, and I don't know why.
Non-Saint? Maybe. I'd be happy. If he went to the Saints, I'd get a jersey. Okay, so I don't have any running backs here, and Aaron Jones is the first running back like in 10 spots. But I guess there are worse running backs. I mean, you know, this dude's pretty elite when he's playing. He just,
I'll take
a
need
shot.
the running backs, but there's some coming up that are solid picks if you need them. Nick Chubb's still hanging out. His ADP is 93.
Oh, yeah. Tony P is there.
Yeah.
And we're, this podcast based in the Memphis area, so Tony Pollard always has a
Shout
home
out.
on our lineups. Okay?
I mean, hell, we ate at Pollard's, 2 weeks ago? We
That's
ate
it.
at his family restaurant not too long
right.
ago.
Nolan, quickly, 20 seconds. I've taken Evan Engram in every draft here, and it's him or Brock Bowers. Do I give me a Bowers share?
No, fuck that.
We've been talking about variants. Or do I just
Are you doing it?
stick with?
We haven't done that many drafts to need variants yet.
I can't.
Go with your gut.
I'm taking Deontay.
Oh my
I went
god!
no. Your
After
quote.
all that.
Your quote was "Go with your gut." Boy, he's just. I mean, he was sitting right there staring at me. We're good.
Oh my god.
My receivers are so good. I'm good. I don't have to take another receiver in this draft if I don't want to, which is good because I got to take a lot of other positions. But you just got to be careful when you're doing these best ball drafts or really any drafts, not to paint yourself into like a corner on needing a position because you reach for guys.
Yeah.
Best ball especially, take the best person available. Your lineup will sort itself out. If you have kind of a weak tight end, but your receivers are always putting up 20 points or 30 points, like it's going to fill that gap.
Yeah, you're right. This guy at the 12, it's weird not seeing orange on it.
Terry is his first receiver.
Oh, that's terrifying.
I mean, he's in a position where he's about to take, like Godwin won't be there, so his second receiver is going to be like Adonai or Mike Williams. It's pretty bleak.
Oof.
There'll be a run on quarterbacks and running backs.
Who do you even take? Honestly, I'd probably take Dubes and Curtis Samuel over a lot of these other receivers that are over him.
This dude took Bowers.
What about
at
I need
7-8.
a running back. Pretty dang bad. But
There's a bunch of good ones, man. DeAndre's still sitting there.
I mean, I've talked about Jordan Love so many times lately.
I mean, stack your quarterbacks. Get him in there.
Might as well.
You'll have a pick on the swing, right?
Me, yeah. Which I'm leaning towards this one, and this might be my homer pick.
You do like Swift.
I do.
You just like anybody that's ever been on a Lions roster. Ever.
Hey man, that's not true.
No, I know you say like you're a pseudo Chargers fan, but let's put Lions at like 1B, and I'm there with you.
That's true.
If you don't cheer for secretly, we hate Deshaun Watson, but if you don't cheer for the Lions and the Browns because they are so like historically terrible, you don't like football. Okay, it is so good when those teams are good.
We're the Memphis guys. We root for the underdog always.
That's right. We're not talking about Washington. That team can just get sold and go somewhere else.
Yeah, that's
fine.
Out. We're fine with that.
We're out on that one, but the other ones are good. Oh, let's see.
I can't even say that. I don't like the Jets, even though
the dude is
been
still
bad for a
trotting
long
out.
time.
He just took Brock Purdy. Still only has one wide receiver. Let's see. You gonna take Adonai?
He took Mostert and Purdy. What is he doing? Wait, that's not the one I'm thinking of.
Yeah,
this is what I'm thinking of. Yeah.
He took Curtis Samuel. That's a good pick.
God,
That's
he
a pretty
had
good pick.
to.
It's not like a great wide receiver too, but
Hey,
it has the potential.
If anybody's here from old 3-man Bunkbed episodes, they know we're higher on Curtis Samuel than most people.
That's true.
He is a career wide receiver 3.
And right now he's wide receiver 1 for the Bills.
Yes,
okay?
he is.
It's him and 2 tight ends and James Cook. You can't tell me you have confidence in Khalil Shakir and the other guys. But Curtis Samuel's money.
Still got my boy.
Boom. DeAndre
Got
Swift.
him.
And you're on the big swing. You're on like the big gap between stuff.
No, it's fine. It's great. QB's
I want to get some of these
looking
shields.
great. Running backs, iffy. Receivers,
No, I don't.
question marks. Tight end, bigger question mark.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I know it's risky because I only have one running back and no tight ends. I still kind of like my roster better than yours right now. Although your receivers are good. Yeah, dude. Look at the. Oh no, it swapped. It swapped.
We'll do it this way. Who do you got? CD, Olave, Diggs, Pickens, great. CJ Stroud,
Eaton.
Great.
Eaton.
Your running backs are iffier than mine.
Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna take some shots at some guys. If you don't think I'm brave enough to. If you don't think I'm brave enough to take Nick Chubb, you don't know me, okay?
You love Nick Chubb. It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine. It's great.
Anybody can come back from a third leg flop. It's him.
I mean, if we're talking about people with no legs at this point, Eckler's still hanging out.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow.
So let me see. So Najee's dropping, right? So
he's
projected as 8.5. Like 85.5, so around 8.5 or so, and we're at 8.6 and moving. So he's officially like below ADP here, he's below that. And see, dude took Nick Chubb. The issue is with Arthur Smith there and Jalen Warren muddying this up. Like nobody knows who's going to get these carries for these guys, and they have a running back offensive coordinator. Like Arthur Smith runs the ball.
Who else did they just sign?
Steelers. I know they got somebody. Pull it up, Nolan.
You know who it was. Come on. Who's Arthur Smith's boy?
First of all, I'm going to take Javonte here.
Cordero Patterson.
Oh, yeah, they did take
they brought him
Cordero Patterson. Just saying, so they got 3 running backs that are going to get legitimate snaps.
How old is he? He's got to be 40 at this point, right?
He's like 32, 33. But he's a running back, or he's a wide receiver convert.
You're fine. I'm trying to not Google it because I know my keyboard's loud as hell.
I got you. Well, hold on. Let me make my pick here. Okay, so I can take another running back, or I can turn around and take a 6th receiver. Nah. All right, hear me out. I'm actually going to take Eckler. I think it's a pretty decent gamble in the 9th round. Aaron Jones, Javonte, and Austin Eckler. I got the all-injury team. Not Cordero.
I don't know. I just got a feeling about Jalen Warren this year. It's a gut pick right there.
I think he can take some touchdowns, man. I'm fine with that. Let's see how old Cordero Patterson is. 33. I was right there. Right there.
Damn.
But because he's a wide receiver convert, he's just a little bit. He's got a little bit more gas in the tank, I think, than a normal 33-year-old running back.
Maybe. Also, shout out Falls guys.
All right, while we're going through this, we're rounding out to Nolan's pick. Going to put the banner back up for a second. Remember, when you go to set up your Underdog, the Fantasy Football Advice Forum is partnered with them. And so we have a code that you can use, and your first deposit will get matched. So when you register, please use code FFADVICE and get some free money on us and on Underdog. All right, so something that I think we need to say every time, Nolan, on this is remember for for Underdog Fantasy, these are best ball drafts. So it's not your typical fantasy. Best ball, you just take as many players as you can that you think are going to score, and the lineup does it for you. They set all of your players. Whoever scores the most points gets automatically shifted in the lineup. Mm-hmm. So it's a freer way to draft. You ain't got to worry about tinkering. All right, Nolan, what'd you do here? What'd you do at pick?
I went for the little stack. I got a Romeo Dubes stock.
Ooh, okay, that's fine. So if he throws 3 touchdowns, then Jordan Love and Romeo Dubes will be automatically put in your lineup there.
And we will be having a great week. You love to see it.
Love to see it. This guy has 4 running backs. He's snapping up all the running backs.
He's auto-picking anyways. So, I'm going to be honest. I'm a little surprised Caleb Williams' ADP is so low. As rookie hype goes, he's got a whole stinking lot of it. Especially when you see all these rookies that are going higher than him. I don't know. It just surprised me a little.
Not to mention, when you look at it, so he has a little bit of running upside. He doesn't really rush. He more runs around outside the pocket to create plays.
He's very Mahomes when it comes to style.
But, like, you can let someone soak up that rookie quarterback pick knowing that after him, Tua is sitting there, Jared Goff is sitting there, Trevor Lawrence is sitting there, and then even Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins in an Atlanta offense that is primed to put a ton of points on the board. And he's sitting there with an ADP of 123, projected as the 270th pick. That's nuts. I'm good. Y'all can have the rookie quarterbacks. I'm going to take one of the other guys.
So you said the name, and I was thinking about it. With this team, might as well. The Drake London, the Pitts.
Yeah,
ADP
dude.
doesn't matter right now, right?
It does not matter, Nolan. Take your shots.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do it.
I still don't even have a tight end, so that's okay. I'm coming up on Dallas Goedert and Dalton Schultz and T.J. Hawkinson. There's tons of tight ends. Might take another running back.
My team is based around if Atlanta does good, my team will do good.
I was just thinking. I was sitting here staring at Tajay, and then this dude snaps him up.
Ah, dang.
How
Sniped.
dare you?
Oh, you read your mind.
That's right. I got 4 more picks. So
I mean,
all the
there's
guys
still fine running backs there. Brian Robinson at this point is probably better than Eckler on that team. Especially with Gibson gone too. He's in, New England now, I think?
Yep.
Yep.
And if for some reason Robinson's there, I've got Eckler.
Yeah.
That's a
Devin
great stack.
Singletary's technically a starter. Chase Brown, I'm pretty sure, is technically a starter right now.
He's one being with Zach Moss. Yeah.
Gus Edwards might be a starter right now. So, I've seen a lot of mocks to where Blake Corum goes to the Chargers late also. Mm-hmm. So he might end up being their RB1.
It won't even be that late. Harbaugh will get him in the 3rd and be happy about it.
That's where I've been seeing it. A lot of 3-round mocks coming out these days, and I've been seeing him go to them in the 3rd a bunch.
So this cat's taking Singletary. Yeah. He had one running back before that pick. Okay. All right. So I'm still going to take – so I was sitting here thinking I might take Goff, but quarterback's still a luxury pick on best ball for me right here. I'm going to take – I might double tight ends here. I might take Goddard and then Schultz. Nah, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to take Jonathan Brooks. He was diagnosed with ACL in November. No.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
Sorry, Underdog got me. Don't forget in your Underdog drafts, you got 30 seconds.
Very quick. He's been mocked a bunch to be the first RB off the board, though.
Yeah. So here
we saw a crazy one today. It was Drake May, the 1-1, which is controversial, you might say.
And I just don't think it's realistic either. It would be fun. It's fun, but it's not realistic.
That's the thing. You got to think about, a lot of these people are just doing it for clicks too.
That's true.
They want people to talk about it.
The rest of the draft,
the only way you not do Caleb Williams the 1-1, right? Yeah.
The rest of the draft was really intriguing, though. Shout out Bleacher Report. It was a Bleacher Report mock draft that posted today, 4/10. There we go, Nolan. I dated the podcast.
Dated this one, so
now we're going to have to post it. They put out a really cool mock with a lot of intriguing picks that didn't feel like reaches. They just felt like kind of different takes than what you've seen out of the normal media. So I'd take a look at that. It was a
Rome
fun
to
draft.
the Chargers at 5 would make me the happiest boy.
Love it. He might be the best one.
They might.
Like I know, this is such an elite wide receiver draft. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's like 10 guys that could be really, really good receivers.
What was the record? It's like 8 receivers in the first round or something.
It was that Odell Beckham draft, I think.
God, it's crazy to think about. We're not going to hit 8, but God, it feels like it could get 6, though. I don't know, but
first round.
You've seen the people grade Neighbors over Marvin Harrison, which you can kind of get as athletic he is. But taking Rome over Neighbors, I feel like is I don't want to say a reach. It's different. I like it though, because Rome's my favorite one actually in this draft.
He seems like he might not be the most uber talented, but he just feels like the guy who went and did the most with the least.
He feels very Larry Fitzy.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good one. That would be a fantastic player comp. One tight end here.
I like Schultz.
Yeah.
Plus, I need another tight end anyway. So great, go team.
I was gonna take him, but I had
really need a stinking running back here, though.
So Blake Corum on the wrap.
Yeah, it feels like Blake Corum, right? Because if he does end up on the Chargers in the third, it's going to be a hell of a pick.
So while we're waiting on that, Nolan,
I'm just not trusting anybody on the Carolina offense, so I'm just going to skip over Chuba here.
What? We don't think that
does
Bryce
not exist to me.
We don't think Bryce Young's going to have like a super great year too?
Oh, no, it feels like the Zach Wilson or Johnny Football kind of draft pick from that pick last year. Like, everybody knew that CJ Stroud was probably going to be the best quarterback, but they went with the hype guy who was really bad size-wise.
Yep.
And it just, I don't know. I feel like we're going to, in a few years, lop that in with how bad of a Zach Wilson pick was or how bad the Johnny Football pick was.
Well, yeah, especially when CJ Stroud came out and was, I don't know off the top of my head, but basically an all-pro as a rookie, if he didn't finish as an all-pro. And he was sitting right there. They could have had whoever they wanted. Even Anthony Richardson was really intriguing, more intriguing than Bryce Young was.
And then the Will Levis falling, and it was a weird draft.
It was.
I don't know. It feels like one of those that people kind of were trying to overthink it a little bit, you know?
They do. Quarterbacks mess them up. Quarterbacks mess everybody up. You got Blake Corum on the wrap.
I did. I got him on the wrap. We did it. Now let's just pray he gets drafted by Jimmy Harbaugh in the third.
Let's see. Look, I'm going to need a tight end coming up, and there's still some dudes. Cole Kmet's still here. Muth is still there. Luke Musgrave is still there.
Muth's still there.
I'll be okay with any of those guys.
Muth would be a good pick here. Let's click tight ends and look as a group. I like Luke Musgrave.
Yeah, as I say, Luke Musgrave, I could get him in round 12.
Yep.
Knowing that he was absolutely dynamite when healthy.
Yep, you can get Isaiah Likely super late, praying that Mandrews gets hurt again. Hunter Henry could be a solid pick. Shout out Tyler, one of his boys.
Shout out Arkansas.
Yep. Jonnu Smith, weirdly good year last year.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens in Miami, though.
I think it was an outlier. Although,
you think so?
I say that. He's uber talented. Yes, I'm going to go. Oh, dude, I don't know. All right, I have Pickens, so I'm going to go Musgrave here.
Got it.
I was going to go Muth, but I thought, let me not do that.
Nah.
Look, he was really intriguing last year in that Kyle Pitts, in that Falcons offense with Arthur Smith, where he outplayed a number 3 overall pick at tight end, and now he's going to the Dolphins offense, where he's gonna see wide open coverage. They're too busy covering everyone else.
Yep, too many faces to cover. Who else is gone? Did I like? So
let me see.
Who do you think's gonna be this year's Jahan Dotson? Everybody was hyping him to be so high last year, myself included. Fine, I will take that one. But I feel like if you look at like a lot of like the Dynasty like subreddit and Twitter feeds and a lot of different places all over YouTube, people were hyping him to have a hell of a year, but kind of really disappointed us.
Yeah.
Who do you think's going to be this year's Jahan Dotson?
So like I want to tell you that
Looking
it's one
up
of
here
these.
at the top of the draft somewhere.
Yeah. I want to tell you it was one of those rookie wide receivers, but it's like we can't worry about that, right? So let's think younger receiver going into year 2 or year 3. I could hear people talk me into Zay Flowers, 100%. I could hear people talk you into Rashid Rice before his 8 charges. He's got 8 charges now.
He's only going to get a 2-game suspension. Let's be real.
Yeah, but it's still 8 charges, right? Like it's still pretty. So yeah, look, just looking at that really quickly, Zay Flowers I think is an intriguing option as that people are going to be super excited for him going into the offense. He's kind of the Ravens wide receiver 1. And then let me see. Oh, who was the guy I was just looking at him? Hold on. I'll come back to it. Oh, that's who it was. Anybody from Green Bay. Anybody from Green Bay. And here's the problem: they're not talented. They're all talented. That's the issue. Is you're gonna have people talk themselves into all of them: Dubes, Jaden Reed, Christian Watson, Dontavian Wicks. And the problem is we have no clarity into who's going to be the best of those guys or who's going to be the wide receiver one. And so you're taking shots on the Green Bay guys until we get into the preseason and kind of start seeing how this pecking order is going. It's a total gamble on the Green Bay guys. Zay Jones. Hey, did you see? I forget he had a charge on him this offseason. Yeah. It was dropped.
No charges. Also, I like Zay Jones. He's the deep threat on that team, especially if Kirk stays healthy. I think Kirk is Jacksonville's wide receiver one, and it's not necessarily close. But if he stays healthy, he's a slot guy. He's going to play underneath. So people are going to be looking in more, and Zay Jones is a burner on the outside. And I don't know. We're talking variance and high upside guys. Zay Jones is one of those guys that's going to have 1 or 2 30-point weeks.
Okay. I'm with you on that. Nolan, what about these two running backs that are here? So you got Jaleel McLaughlin and Kendre Miller, knowing that the running backs in front of them are either injury prone or older. Interesting picks here.
I like Jaleel McLaughlin. He catches the ball really well. But is Javonte back and healthy, then he might be irrelevant. Also, Kendre Miller, I have no fucking clue. I drafted him in Dynasty 2 years ago just to sit on him and wait. I have no idea what's going to happen.
I know you did. I hate you for it.
I traded up to get him.
All right, so let's look.
I really need a running back, though. I just talked him up a little bit. Let's go with a little bit McLaughlin.
Yeah, I think it's a good pick. Knowing that Javonte gets hurt.
Yeah. It's a big if. I need the running backs anyways, so might as well throw somebody in there.
Let's see. We're coming up round 14. It goes to round 20, so we get 6 more picks.
Yeah. I'm done at quarterback. I've got 3 solid ones. I'm not thinking about the position anymore, period. Running back, solid. Probably solid. Who the hell knows where he goes? Handcuff. Receivers, stud. Hopefully it's a stud if healthy.
Yeah.
Coin flip, who's the best receiver? If Christian Watson's healthy, it's probably Christian Watson's team. But God, with his hamstring, nobody knows.
And Jaden Reed was really good, and Romeo Dubes was really good.
And what's Dontavian Wicks?
Yep,
looked good too.
That's the deepest four wide-out wide receiver room in the NFL.
And they're the youngest too, which is crazy.
I'd put them up there probably with the Texans. They're just loaded with talent.
Oh, yeah, true. Yeah.
Probably just loaded with talent.
Yeah. And hopefully they have some running back injuries, so our Memphis boy gets some time. Shout out Patrick Taylor.
Poor Pete Taylor, man. He's just, you know.
There's 3, maybe 4 guys ahead of him on that depth chart. He did get on the field some last year, though.
Mm-hmm.
What are you thinking here?
So I don't love the quarterback options.
Aaron Rodgers is fallen 20 picks past ADP.
Yeah, dude, you could talk me into it. You could talk me into
who else is available? Justin Fields not starting. Gino could not start. You've got Carr who's going to be starting though. Bryce.
We've got more mock drafts telling us that the Jets are going to take Brock Bowers than not. And so then you've got Aaron Rodgers with Garrett Wilson and Mike Williams, and with 3 tight ends deep, then you'd have Uzoma, Conklin, and Bowers. And then you got Breece Hall. Like, this dude took Algier and Fields quick. Okay, so cool. So I could still jump down here and go for best player available. I'm actually looking Demario Douglas or Wandale here. Let's see.
I like Demario Douglas. Their QB situation is just the biggest question mark in the world, though. Are they going to run with Zappy this year? Is that happening?
No. They took Jacoby Brissett, right?
I mean, are they running with Zappy this year?
Don't hate on him. Don't hate on Jacoby Brissett. The dude.
He's fine.
He is a competent quarterback.
He is a 20th best QB in the league that is always going to have a job somewhere.
I'm fine with that.
He feels like a career backup, though. He's just got a few more chances than anybody else. I don't know.
You know what he is? He's just a little bit more talented Tyrod Taylor without like a lung puncture.
I just want to be right about Bailey Zappi.
You're
Because, you know, I talked about it so much that year.
Well, hear me out. How cool would it be for the Patriots? So Bailey Zappi went to Western Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
There's a pretty highly touted wide receiver coming out of Western Kentucky this year. How interesting would it be for the Patriots? Because they had to know each other. Malachi Corley and Zappi had to know each other. For them, if they took him in an offense that needs a receiver, like he would be okay. He's not a first-round pick, but round 2, round 3, like, you know, turn around and get him and let Zappi and Corley go to work. You know, take that McCaffrey insurance.
I was about to say, which handcuff do I want? I think I'm going to take the McCaffrey handcuff.
Yeah, because if he goes, it's a steep drop.
Yep. I guess I could get my own handcuff here and get Khalil Herbert, but it's Swift, Herbert, and Roschon.
You just don't know. I
don't know. I don't like being
Somebody's gonna be
in that team.
Unfortunately, the offense can score some touchdowns. You just don't know who's doing it.
Yeah, I kind of hate
Wandale
all the
still
running
sitting
backs.
Yeah, well, you're about to be to the point where you're taking shots.
If he's there, I'm probably taking Mitchell in case Henry gets hurt.
Okay.
Now that J.K. and Gus are both gone. But, God, I don't like being stuck in this situation with running backs. I'm going to have to remember this next draft. Kind of go running back heavier sooner because this doesn't look good.
So I'm looking for our rugby player is not on here yet.
Is he not?
No, I don't think so.
Zam. Nope.
He's not.
That sucks.
Man.
What? Come on, Underdog. What are we doing?
Yeah, I wanted to draft him. Rude.
Is he still on here? Tim Tebow's still on here, and they didn't put Lou Zammit.
Re-Zammit. Yeah.
Re-Zammit.
Shout out rugby players.
Oh shit! Somebody took him. All right,
Wandale, dude.
All right.
He's just sitting there.
I don't want it though.
You're 5 and 5. You're 5 running backs, 5 receivers.
All right, we're doing receivers from here on out. Who are we taking? Who's got the highest upside?
Malachi Corley.
No.
Don't ask if you don't want to hear
Nobody.
it. One of the Giants guys.
Don't talk to me.
Our Princeton boy.
Yep. He was my I was biggest fan of him from the combine when I watched him. I'm just hoping he breaks out. Let's hope T gets traded.
What about Audrey Estime's 4.6 speed? He ran it at a 4.5, right?
Yeah, but that was a pro day, so who knows how true it actually is.
That's right. They don't have the camera set up. They've got like the guys with the stopwatches.
Yep, that's right.
He ran a 4.43, you know. Malachi Corley went.
I don't know why in my head I thought we were doing 18 rounds, not 20 rounds.
It's 20, my friend.
Oh.
It is 20.
Well, I done goofed.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 to go. I'm going to make my pick, and then we're going to do the, let's see. Here we go. Do I take a shot at Bryce Young just as a third quarterback?
Might as well get 3.
Do I want Bryce Young or Daniel Jones, like, way later? Bryce Young. I'm actually going to do it.
You did it.
I'm actually going to do it. Then we got a bunch of rookies, like literally 5 rookies in a row, and then Miles Sanders.
Just call it a stack. You got him and Deontay.
Okay.
Nobody can argue with you if you just call it a stack.
It's true. Yeah, you sound intellectually fantasy football relevant when you're like, I just got my stack. Okay. All right, let me see. I want to take one of these random rookie running backs. You know what, though? He does seem like a touchdown scorer, Nolan. We're going Audrey Estime. It'll be the only draft I take him in prior to knowing what team and situation he's in. Mark my words.
No. What is it, 2 weeks till draft?
2 weeks till draft. 2 weeks and a day. It'll be Thursday, 2 weeks from tomorrow. Yep.
Oh, there it goes. The 3 rookie running backs in a row.
Boom, boom, boom. Some of these guys are auto-drafting. Well, actually, we know the Shield is not auto-drafting. Shields don't auto-draft.
Too committed.
They've won too many times. They literally they know better.
They're just addicted is what it is. That's why they're drafting so early.
So I'm going through here now, personally for me, and I am starring some players that I'm interested in. So I'm looking at like running back handcuffs for running backs that have injury histories. I'm looking for a handcuff to my tight end in Green Bay is Tucker Kraft. Elite production when Luke Musgrave was hurt. So this late in the draft on Underdog, you guys start shooting your shots. I mean, think of all the thousands of drafts last year where Puka and Kyron Williams were not drafted. There is no waiver wire on Underdog. You don't go back through and pick up free agents. They just don't play. So don't be afraid to take shots later on. If you hit, it will win you the league.
Here, let me do that too. Let's go press some buttons.
Nolan, you need a pick, Pally.
Oh, am I up? Oh, I am up.
Although Tank's a pretty
Snuck up
decent.
on me.
No, he's too far down in ADP, Nolan.
Talk
Go ahead
about
and get
high
you a Tennessee Giant. Go ahead.
Talk about high upside, guys. He can run 4 routes, and that's it.
That's right. No, we talked about this. Do you know how far down the only actually productive Giants receiver that's still on the roster is? I'm down here at 233 in ADP, and Darius Slayton is still there. He's like the only good one they've got, like with actual production, and people always leave him down.
Shout out KJ Osborne. I've always liked him.
If he was not relevant with Kirk Cousins, he won't be relevant with a rookie quarterback. Okay. Sorry to tell you. Don't worry, those of you who listen to this, we appreciate you first and foremost. Second, Nolan will have a quieter keyboard one day. Okay?
Someday. Maybe. We'll see.
Let me see. All right, while we're waiting, it's coming up to Nolan here. Nolan, you make your pick. What are we thinking here? Not too late for Tank if you just want a pair.
Scrolling. No. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just going to handcuff.
You can't do it. Yeah, you can't do it.
I couldn't do it.
All right, so last time for this show, probably, look, when you're going to Underdog, you're setting up your account for the first time. They're going to ask you if you have a code. Use FF Advice. Your first deposit will get matched. So look, let us help you. Let us help you get some free money to get out here and enable your fantasy drafts on that. All right, so we are officially almost 19 picks in. We're rounding out round 18 here, so we're gonna have 2 picks left. You know who I've got starred here at the very end, Nolan? He doesn't even have a projection yet. Luke McCaffrey.
Oh my goodness!
Just sitting here at the back half of my box.
You love him so much.
I have Taysom in real life. It's so like. He could just be another team's Taysom, but like way cheaper. 5th round, 6th round cheaper.
I've never heard this name before. Bub Means.
I bet you won't draft him.
Bet.
Wide receiver 140. I bet he doesn't get 5 receptions.
Bub Means. Where did he go?
He probably that's like an international pathway guy.
Tennessee to La Tech to Pitt.
Yeah. Hey, Pitt, though. Finished at a pretty decent university.
Yeah.
Let's see.
6'2", 215. He's good size-wise.
Just don't love these options.
4.43, solid pick. Gonna take him.
I'm gonna take Tucker Kraft. I'm gonna take Tucker Kraft to back up Luke Musgrave.
I really probably need to take 2 more tight ends to finish this draft, if I'm being honest with you.
So I'm feeling pretty balanced here. 3 QBs, 5 running backs, 6 receivers, 4 tight ends, and I haven't taken a receiver since Demario Douglas, which I'm feeling pretty good about. Let me see. I'm gonna take Traylon Burks. Like
Homer.
Calvin Ridley, DeAndre Hopkins both have had injury history. So is Traylon Burks. We're taking shots here at the back. We're taking shots.
How many games did he play last season?
Not a lot. Not a ton. Let's see. I can tell you. But I got him as my 7th receiver, so we're feeling pretty confident about that.
We're shots in the dark. No big deals.
We're looking for Puka here, people. We're looking for Kyron.
You're looking for Puka, and his name is Bub Means.
It's probably not. It is probably not Bud me.
You don't know
Bub?
that.
Bud?
B-U-B.
Bub. Bub mean. That's a good one. That's like last year, the lineman, Juice Scruggs. Just some great names. Every year we get great names.
It's no Will Clapp.
All right, who are we looking at? We're looking at Burks. Will Clapp. Stop it. There are children that could possibly listen to this. 1, 2, 3. No, hold on. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 games. He paid 10 out of 17 for your 7th receiver is fine. That's fine. I'm feeling. I am justifying that pick more and more as I look into this. All right, Nolan. Let's see. So you're gonna be. Yeah. You're gonna be. Oh no, you're getting ready to make up your last pick. What are we thinking for your last pick? Colby Parkinson, pretty good pick.
I'm probably just gonna do another tight end, just because. I don't know. Maybe I should. My tight ends are okay. Receivers, fine. Running backs,
you could bank on
fine. It's probably just gonna be
Dameon Pierce resurgence. We're 1 year removed from him being really good. You got our boy from Memphis, Kenny G.
Who did they just re-sign down there? They just signed another running back.
Who? Texans?
Yeah.
Joe Mixon.
Damn.
It's a pretty good running back room when you got Joe Mixon and Dameon Pierce. Like that's a pretty good look. You could take Jerry Rice's son.
It's true. I was kind of looking at Ben Sano. I've seen him projected to some pretty good teams. I don't know. Maybe.
Bet you won't take Bub Means.
I bet I could snipe you and take Luke McCaffrey.
You could. He's third on my starred players.
See which rookie. I could take Johnny Wilson. Shout out, Dad.
No, I've got my top 3 options right now are Darius Slayton, A.T. Perry, and Luke McCaffrey. I'm feeling pretty confident in those.
Bub Means.
Jake Bobo. Oh, Jake Bobo.
That's my boy. He actually got in my starting lineup in my dynasty.
I don't want to hear it. I do not want to hear your obscure names where you tell me that they were super important. Who was it? Who was it? It was Demetric Felton. Okay. For those of you who have made it this far into the episode this week, Nolan and I had an argument where at one point he went, Zach, I'm just going to tell you, it's a bad take. Because we were arguing on Demetric Felton's value. And Nolan went, he was so important to my roster last year. Well, he got his years mixed up because the year he was talking about, Demetric Felton was actually okay. The year he said in the argument, Demetric Felton had 7 fantasy points on the season. So I won that one.
Oh.
Round 1 went to me on that argument. Bless his heart.
I was 20. What year was it? Shit, I don't know.
Oh no. Slayton went. A.T. Perry went. Do not take Luke McCaffrey in these next 2 picks. Don't you dare. Greg Dulcich. All right, you got 8 receivers. You don't need Luke McCaffrey. Take Dylan Lobb. Yeah, he did. Okay, good. Okay.
You got him. Hooray.
I'm doing it. And I'm passing some guys here. I'm doing it. He just seems like the kind of guy that accidentally score touchdowns.
Yeah.
Last pick in my draft this week. Luke McCaffrey. All right. Let's see. All 20 rounds this week, Nolan. All
Hooray.
20 rounds.
We made it this time.
That's right. We made it. That's our first little board draft. So that was a $3 draft, okay? And it's going to put us – we could win there's not
Where's
total, but total in this pool of prizes is $150,000 on a $3 buy-in here for Underdog.
We made it. I figured out how to get back.
Finally got there.
Yep.
Let's see.
So how are you feeling post-draft?
No, I'm feeling pretty decent on this one. So the drop-off after quarterback's pretty steep. Like I went C.J. Stroud and then Aaron Rodgers and Bryce Young, but I'm confident enough in C.J. Stroud that I'm okay with hoping for a week or two from Bryce Young and Aaron Rodgers.
Yep.
Running backs are question marks, but you're just hoping for touchdowns, right? Like
That's right.
I'm okay not having 100 yards if I could just get in the end zone. So got a couple end zone guys, and then I am elite at wide receiver. Okay, CeeDee Lamb, Chris Olave, Stephon Diggs, George Pickens, Deontay Johnson. I live in a world where I could take George Pickens and Deontay Johnson now on separate offenses. Feel pretty good about that.
Look at you.
What about you, Nolan?
Well, I feel awful. This is probably one of the worst drafts I've ever done.
Where did it go wrong? Where did it all go wrong for you here?
Well, I feel like it started wrong. I don't know. I don't like Wilson. I know I should, but I don't. But I took him in the first round. And then Drake London, who I'm high on this year, but I'm still scared of. And then Cooper Kupp, also scared. I didn't take my first running back till round 4, which is very unlike me. I got James Cook solid. Mahomes at the 5'10" feels weird how late he's going.
Yep.
And then Pitts, who I'm also terrified of. Love Jordan Love. DeAndre Swift, my RB2, is my boy, yes. Is he good at football? Who knows? Year 4? No idea. And then it's just, I don't know, it gets progressively worse. I took some crazy dart throws and a bunch of handcuffs. And, not happy with this draft. Went real bad.
Well, you'll get another chance next week, Nolan.
If you've made it this far in this video, hey, we'll do better next week, I promise.
Learn from his mistakes.
Learn from me.
That is the cool thing about our show. Look, we are casual fans who just love talking about it. So y'all are going to grow with us as we learn this draft season.
That's right.
And figure out where our draft strategies go and what that looks like. So look, thanks for tuning in another week through Bunkbed. This was episode 22 this season. We'll get 2 more Underdog drafts in prior. Yeah, that's right. Or 2 more. You'll find that out soon. We'll get 2 more of these drafts in prior to the actual NFL draft. After that, the rankings are going to drastically start changing once we know where players end up on teams. But look, check us out on YouTube. Check us out on the Fantasy Football Advice Network. Shout out to our host website, our sponsor, fantasyfootballadvicenetwork.com, and then their partner, Underdog Fantasy. We appreciate y'all. We'll see you on the next one.
Bye.
Peace.